guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We are the Undercast Company, and this podcast Underrated. My name's Alan. How's it going?
I'm Ariel.
I'm Sergio.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Fred.
Well, welcome back, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, Batman Forever. Batman Forever came out in 1995, directed by Joel Schumacher, starring Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Nicole Kidman, and Jim Carrey. Pretty much, basis of the movie, it's Batman is just trying to foil the plans of Two-Face and the Riddler. Not a lot. I mean, I feel like we kind of picked this out for fun. Like, it was a fun, underrated comic book movie, especially since we did more serious ones back then. So I feel like this one's a lot more fun to do. But yeah, I've seen it billions of times since 1995. I have almost every Batman film, so I rewatch them all the damn time. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think.
Alan, I think you're forgetting about one of the most important things that came out of this movie. One of the greatest hits.
The McDonald's glasses?
No,
I still have
from the
a set of
McDonald's glasses.
I still got those at home.
Are you talking about what I think you're talking about, Ariel?
Yeah.
The Fire soundtrack
Yeah.
with the number one single.
Oh my god, yes, of course.
Like,
Seals, Kissed by a Rose.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that.
That music video too. Like, where it's just like him like in front of the bat signal, just like clutching his chest like, baby.
Wait a minute.
Oh man. That music video was fucking fire.
They gave Seal the task of creating something better than Prince's
Bat Dance.
Bat Dance.
Yeah.
He delivered.
Is this the best Batman like tie-in song?
But
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Did you guys also have? Because I had the VHS when I was a kid, and I remember like I have distinct memories in my brain of like right after like the Free Willy trailer, there was the trailer where it's like get the Batman soundtrack now. It was like Kiss from a Rose,
and then it would play like songs from Seal, U2, and then it'd be like Throw Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, whatever.
Yeah. Bow wow 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 wow.
Mm-hmm.
That song was the shit too. That was a good closing credits song.
Da-dun, 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 ka-ta-ta.
Yeah.
But yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go. So yeah, in all fairness, I hadn't seen it in a long, long time. So going back to it, like I totally forgot about a bunch of things. One of the main things was how Nicole Kidman's character was. Like I remembered, of course, Nicole Kidman was in it, and early Nicole Kidman. I forgot, or I had blocked out, or didn't really pay attention the last time I saw it, of how
horny she is.
He was, yeah, to Batman. But it did feel like they were trying to copy the relationship and the dynamic that Lois Lane kind of had in this old Superman Chris Reeves movies, of her having this kind of infatuation with Superman, in this case Batman, and then realizing like, oh, this is Batman. But I really did end up like being okay with their relationship at the end, and I now thinking back, I'm like, what happened to her in the fourth movie, the infamous fourth movie?
What happened to every love interest ever in the next movie? They always get erased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get kind of just.
I feel like Batman gets that 007 treatment where there's always a gal for him in the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was before, not like with the newer ones, but the older ones. He always had his gal for the movie, and the next movie it'd be a brand new gal.
Yeah,
some kind of love interest for him, just to make you know that Batman is a virile straight male.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I think the main reason why we can consider this as being underappreciated is because of the way that it's kind of been shadowed by the infamous Batman and Robin that followed up, and how much of a pretty much train wreck. I'd say in some cases, some people's opinions is that it is very much a train wreck of a Batman movie. Besides,
I thought it was good.
Why do you hate it so much?
I mean,
it's the epitome of cheese.
It's a bad movie. It's a fucking bad movie.
You could see the cheesiness coming out in this, but there's in Batman Forever there is still elements of Tim Burton's Gotham in the style, and I saw that, but you could see this is very much a mixed ground of Tim Burton's Batman and what was to become the Schumacher infamous Batman. So I could see both of those.
And I do want to touch on that in a little bit, but keep going.
Yeah, but I think that's why, looking back, I mean, the performances are actually really great. I mean, Jim Carrey is a pretty good Riddler.
I might disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, I highly disagree with that, but that's, you know me as the Batman guy. So
he is a Riddler that has inspired other Riddlers, at least. I mean, if you go back to see Gotham, the Riddler in that one is very much like has elements of Carrey-esque Riddler in it. Yeah, I mean, I do. He is over the top. So I could say, now thinking back, like, because I'm not extremely knowledgeable about Batman Riddler, but and now thinking back, the cases that I've seen of Batman Riddler, he is very much contained.
But I do agree. I do agree with you that he is an inspiration, because he kind of he was inspired himself by Frank Gorshin, the Riddler from the 60s Batman, who that one was very over the top, very kind of like comical kind of thing. I mean, a lot of them were, Cesar Romero's Joker as well, and Penguin as well by Burgess Meredith. But no, like Jim Carrey even said it, he's like, I didn't want to do that serious one. Like, he's like, I want to do Frank Gorshin, because he's like, that was the Riddler to him. Just like how people go, oh, my Batman was Adam West, or so on and so forth. But I mean, no, you're that's definitely a good thing. I like the more animated series Riddler, more contained, kind of more egotistical, but like kind of complaining kind of Riddler. But
the Riddler who he's like he's like a match for Batman intellectually. He's always he's like, but he can't, like, he's got this compulsion of like he's gotta always leave these clues, because he's like, oh, I gotta give him a chance. Yeah, like I love that, rather than just like, oh, Batman, whoop, here's something. Like, it's just, like he's like peak '90s Jim Carrey. He's like, he's like doing the Ace Ventura, the Mask.
But you know what I was gonna say too, that it doesn't give him too much time either, is because the movie's only so long. He only has so much time to show you, I'm the Riddler. If they would have had him like they do nowadays, they would have introduced him in a movie before. Would have had a little bit of time till you get to know him. The next movie, he would be like a good villain, where you would have already understood a little bit of him before, and then they would have had stuff.
Like they gave him plenty introduction in this. I would have liked to have seen less of him, to be honest. Like,
I'll be real. Let me jump in here. I think the movie works well for what it is. It's a different style of movie. Obviously, nowadays more people are trained to be what you've seen with like the Dark Knight, the Marvel movies. Nowadays, a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic in tone, but it seems to be that way. Like a little bit more serious, even though they can be somewhat funny.
No, you're right, because this one's much more like comic booky.
Yeah. Because at the time those movies, that's how they were, kind of like. And
that's
I'm not
saying I have a problem with, honestly.
No. And I'm not even saying that about that. I'm just saying what I think it works. These movies work. They were very. The colors are always really bright, even though it's dark. Like they pop. Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and the Riddler. I mean,
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey as a Riddler. They complement each other as villains.
Which is coming back is very ironic, because, and then that too kind of like has added to like the kind of diminishing of this movie in a way, because things have come out like the whole Tommy Lee Jones hating Jim Carrey, but then looking at this, it's like they do work together like really well. They complement each other great.
It's two good actors, and like I said, it seems like they play off Batman being suave and intellectual, while his counterparts were really his counterparts, a lot more eccentric, a lot more louder. And so I think it worked really well in the gist of it. Obviously, in the gist of this style of movie. Like I said, nowadays, if you compare them to nowadays movies, it's a lot different. But if you compare them to the movies of their time, that's how they were. You know, even the Superman movies were super campy and super happy and super go lucky. But these were still darker at the time. At the time of these movies, these were dark movies with the subjects that they hit.
You're saying. I just don't like Jim Carrey's performance.
No, and that's
I like
perfect.
him usually.
No, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm not trying to convince you that.
No, but I agree with what you're saying. You know?
Yeah, I'm just going off of what I'm thinking. So I think he did a really good job as the Riddler. It's a little different. Yes, I'll agree. But at the same time, it's all a little different. You know, it's somewhat. I don't know how to explain it. Their period looks futuristic, but at the same time, it looks vintage. It's got bright colors. Like, at the same time, it's dark. It's gothic. At the same time, it's very artistic. It's got all these mixes. It's a lot of movie to take in. If you just watch it and enjoy it, it is just an enjoyable movie. But once you start looking deep into it, just like Tim Burton's movies and all these other Batmans have kind of layered on, there's a lot to it. The architecture, the stuff, the colors, all these visuals. It's a beautiful movie. In its simplistic way, it is an amazing visual, especially for the time and for the stuff that you've seen. Not my favorite Batmobile. I'll be 100% honest.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
I love it. I like that Batmobile.
No, like everybody's got it. I'm just saying, not my favorite Batmobile, but another good Batman actor. Another good good villains on this pick. Like I said, for the time of the movie. Obviously, if we were to compare it to the new ones, I would say it's a lot different. I think everybody did the parts that they did well. Villains complemented each other. Counterpart to Batman. That's what I think of. I guess starting off, what I think of this movie.
Could I go add into that? So in all fairness, like Christian Bale is my favorite Batman, but Val Kilmer was my first Batman. This movie did come out in my childhood, and this was the first Batman movie that I ever watched. And then looking back on it now, I had not appreciated how well he played the part. I mean, I think he is one of the most well-rounded between Bruce Wayne and Batman. And he gave me so many vibes of actually the animated series and Kevin Conroy's performance, especially with the voice choice that he chose to use, especially when he was in the bat suit. So I was just getting like flashbacks of like he's doing a pretty good Kevin Conroy, like who is the ultimate Batman impression. And then there was some pretty good like Bruce Wayne moments where in my truth, like the Christopher Nolan movies didn't really capture as many Bruce Wayne moments as I would have liked. And I feel like that was kind of like the one nitpick thing for the Christopher Nolan movies. But in this one, you have some pretty great Bruce Wayne moments that show like his vulnerabilities, and especially at the circus when Two-Face like comes up and says like, you know, Batman, reveal yourself, and he like stands up and he's like with like, because he wants to save, you know, his city and stuff like that, of him pretty much like trying to sacrifice himself and saying like, Harvey, I am the Batman, but he can't be hurt.
I was gonna mention that because I actually that was maybe my favorite moment in the whole movie, where he just does not hesitate. He just gets up and shouts, "I'm Batman," where there's like a whole existential crisis in the Dark Knight. Is like, oh, should I tell him? He doesn't even have to think about it. He just gets up and yells, "Harvey, I'm Batman!" Like,
I think that's the most like Bruce Wayne moment in like any of these movies. Like I can't remember his name.
Two-Face.
Donald?
No, Christopher Nolan's.
Oh, Christian Bale?
Christian Bale. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a very lax on my part.
A lot of Christians.
But Christian Bale, like his performance is like amazing. He is my favorite Batman, but I feel like he never got that moment where we saw like Batman. I mean, we saw Bruce Wayne like fully from the comic, in my opinion, as much as this version and that moment did. So that in itself is like pretty underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It always seems like the older movies were more Bruce Wayne is the person, and then Batman is the alter ego. When I feel like some of these newer movies is like Bruce Wayne is the alter ego to Batman. Mm-hmm. That Batman is who he truly is, while Bruce Wayne is what he has to do to walk around during the day. While in this other one, it's not. It's more like I'm Bruce Wayne walking during the day, but the only way I can fix things is to be Batman at night. Mm-hmm. It's that whole like, you know, they kind of change it up, you know, depending on who, I guess, writes them or who does what. It seems like whether it's cartoons or TV or what I've seen, depending on the person, it's the interpretation that they take. Is Batman the true person, or is Bruce Wayne the true person, while the other one's the alter ego? It's always an interesting take that they do, but yeah, I do see that in these movies. It tends to be more of that Batman is the answer to save what Bruce Wayne wants. Well, in the other one, it's Batman is the answer. The Batman wants us to do the justice, bring justice, but Bruce Wayne is the answer for him to do stuff during the day, get the money to make the equipment, do the stuff like that. So, I mean, it's always an interesting take on each director and each person that does when they do come with Batman.
Well, I kind of want to get into that a little because I think that this movie, one thing I didn't remember about it, because I haven't watched it in at least probably like 10, 15 years, was the major theme of this movie is just kind of the duality that is like in everybody. Because like the movie on the surface is just kind of like a fun Batman movie, and you can really just enjoy it just for that. But I really love and appreciated this time all those deeper themes, because that theme about just like how everybody kind of like has two sides is just really ingrained in every single thing about this movie. Like Ariel, even like the Gotham City itself, like you were saying, it's kind of a merger of that kind of like old Gothic, like Tim style of of Gotham City that we saw in the first two in this series, where it was directed by Tim Burton. It's all kind of like that old tiny Gothic style, and then a new like neon style, which would very much take over in the next Batman movie. So it's this kind of weird, ugly, but still like really cool looking fusion of those like old Gothic buildings with these gaudy neon lights. And I just fucking love that. You know, obviously you've got Two-Face, his kind of whole duality thing, which is just, you know, like I get it, it's like hitting you over the head with it. And then of course Batman, and you know, you have Bruce Wayne deciding if he's like he's got to deal with these two halves of himself, his Batman at night and his Bruce Wayne during the day. And that's kind of like really comes to a head when you've got Dr. Chase Meridian. Of course he's dating a psychologist, and it makes perfect sense with all these themes, and he's dealing with the deaths of like his parents and stuff like that. And she's both attracted to Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's got to kind of like decide who he wants to be with more. I think that Val Kilmer is okay as Bruce Wayne. I think he's really fucking good as Batman. Like Ariel was saying, he puts on the voice and he does that. He's got some really good Batman physicality. But yeah, I just like love this movie for its themes. I think it deserved better reviews than it got, because it got trashed. It made a lot of money, but only got like a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fucking low. And while it's not like the greatest movie, like I think, you know, it's probably one of the worst Batman movies, it's still a solid watch, you know. For me, honestly, it was kind of the most random and forgettable Batman movie. Like, I really remember the Burton ones, I remember the Nolan ones, and for the wrong reasons, I remember Batman and Robin. So this one just kind of like is like that other Batman movie. So I was a little surprised, Alan, when you mentioned it, because if I was going to think of an underrated Batman movie, I would have probably said Batman Returns, which I think is fucking incredible.
I will also dive into that too, but keep going.
But yeah, I really liked, there's a lot of stuff, you know, I don't like about it. Me being a big Robin fan, I kind of had to like separate myself from it, like me, or at least being a very big fan of like Richard Grayson. He's my, Alan, you're like the big Batman guy. I'm the big Dick Grayson guy. Like, he's my favorite character in all of DC Comics. And he wasn't really Dick Grayson. He was maybe closer to Jason Todd, to be honest, where he's just kind of a street punk, just asshole kind of. Like, other than
especially
like
taking the Batmobile, that was a classic Todd moment.
Yeah, like Jason Todd like was introduced, the second Robin was introduced by stealing tires off the Batmobile, and him going out and stealing it, and like Batman like kisses the girl, and I was just like, okay, and he fights all those like that neon gang, Also, how the fuck old is Robin supposed to be in this movie? Like,
He's
like
in his 20s because
he's in his 20s.
He could have left.
Well, then why does he need to get adopted? Like
that's the one I didn't understand. But they said like, oh yeah, you could leave. Like he wasn't like a ward of the state or anything like that.
I also think he was supposed to be like borderline,
like 17, maybe 18.
Yeah, 17, 18, and maybe it's like. Or maybe he can be his ward. I mean, that's what he was in the 60s.
I mean, it could have just been.
Well.
It could have just been they're picking and choosing different things of Robin and trying to add it all in together, whether it made sense or not. Because back then, making sense doesn't always have to make sense.
And then also too, back then, this is the era before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Back then, they were just trying to fit as much as they could. So they were probably like, "Hey, let's make Robin a little older. Let's make him like." Let's make him an amalgamation of different Robins because we don't know if he's going to come back. Yeah. We don't know if we're going to do another one.
What's his age? Who cares? Oh, it says Robin got adopted, so we're just going to have him get adopted.
In terms of just the pacing of the film itself, it's just because, there's that central theme of it. I just wish they spent more time on it and it wasn't as, like you said, they were trying to cram in as much as they can in this single movie because it's sometimes, a lot of the times, it felt like it was getting distracted.
And Alan, were you also a little I love the movie, but Alan, were you also upset when he said he's never been in love? I'm like, excuse me, who Catwoman, Vicky Vale, like what the fuck is that shit? Like, you've seen 2 movies. They even reference Catwoman earlier in the movie.
They do. Sergio, I don't know if you want to, because I got a lot of shit to say, so like I can like answer like all that stuff, but like Sergio, I don't know if you want to finish up your thoughts.
I think that was pretty much it. Was just basically about how there is a central theme of it, but just a lot of the times with trying to focus on a lot of things, especially with just talking about this all and focusing on these themes like, oh wow, this is really good. Oh wait, there's the whole Robin thing going on too in the movie.
I gotta say that karate laundry was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like that was fucking horrible.
It was very 90s.
Like, wow, wow, and he's
but that's like perfect. Exactly, it's 90s. It's just like hip hop keto with the Power Rangers. Come on, man.
Oh god.
It
thought it was being so cool.
The music, where it's like it sounds so. Where's that?
Listen.
Look at how bad
in the 90s when I was young and I saw that. I thought that was a shit. Like that was a scene that stuck out. I thought that was super cool.
Robin.
I'm like, I wish I could do that with my laundry.
That's a Jason Todd movies where he would just be like, "Watch me fucking clean this laundry." Like,
and I'd be like, "Yes." But you know what? That is a '90s thing. That if you were a kid growing up in the '90s, that's something you'd be like the wax on, wax off shit. You were always like, "Yeah, karate was a big fucking thing back then." That's why the Power Rangers. That's why a lot of stuff did well.
Three Ninjas,
all that stuff. That's why when I saw that scene, I was like, "Yeah, that's fucking cool." I'll do it.
Also, one more random thing I want to point out. Did you guys notice Drew Barrymore in this shit?
Yep, I was actually.
I was like, "What the fuck?" Drew Barrymore,
that other chick, Two-Face has the two.
Yeah.
Girls
Sugar
or whatever.
And Spice, right?
Yeah, Sugar and Spice. I thought the Spice was pink. Like I thought it was pink for like the longest time.
No, she's on other
she'd be way too young.
Yeah, she's on other stuff.
But pretty much my thoughts on it. I mean, it's a fun Batman movie. I think out of those 4, the Tim Burton Schumacher movies, I feel like each one kind of has its own thing. As like Batman '89, that one's my favorite. That one, it's the classic. It's the first big budget interpretation of Batman. You have Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, and that one automatically, one of the best Batman films. Yeah. Boom, right there. Batman Returns kind of had some controversy of its own for being too dark. Tim Burton kind of put more of his foot in it, and it's great. Yeah, Catwoman and Penguin, they're awesome villains for that one. But then you go to Batman and Robin, and then I know a lot of people hate it for being what it is, and people are like, oh, it's fucking way too campy. There's all these like homoerotic undertones and all this bull crap or whatever, and it's deemed that thing. But what I always like with Batman Forever, it just seemed to be its own thing. Where like I like that it tried changing the Burton stuff, just like you said. There's a whole duality, and if you notice in the day scenes, Gotham's fucking boring looking. Like you look at it and you're like, whatever, looks like shitty CGI. But then at night, that's when Gotham shines. It has that old Art Deco with the Gothic. and then the Japan neon style lights. Like I felt like they were trying to make everything about the mythos, like its own bright kind of theme to it. What I loved a lot about it, like I love the costumes, I love the campy acting every now and again. Like it's definitely its own Elseworld story that I really appreciated because it's just so cheesy, but it's so fun. And I'm surprised you guys aren't talking about the action. The action was badass. Like the opening of that
great,
film
dude.
was bomb.
Yeah.
The
No,
neon
yeah, the
Tommy
opening
guns,
one-
I thought
You
that
know-
was so
Yeah.
badass.
You know when you say it's campy, Alan? You know what it reminds me of a little? You remember that cartoon that came out? What was it? Is it Batman the Brave and the Bold?
I
Where he's-
love Batman Brave and the Bold.
Oh,
Fuck
I
yeah.
feel like that's the campiness that every once in a while you get.
Exactly.
Because that's why when I was trying to think about it, I'm like, dude, what was a cartoon that came out? That's what I see when I see these old Batman, the Tim Burton ones, Schumacher ones, the ones you guys are talking about right now. What I see is that kind of the Brave and the Bold. It's not Batman the animated series, but it's Batman Brave and the Bold. It's its own. It's good. It's good. It was good in the time when it came out, and it's good.
It's still good. And then
it's still
a twofer for you guys out there. Batman Brave and the Bold and Batman Forever, both underrated as fuck in my book, especially Batman Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold.
Batman
If you
Brave
guys
and
have not seen it, I mean, not that I want to diverge, but yes, you're right on. If you guys have not seen it, it's got a lot of Easter eggs. It shows off a lot of stuff. Batman's funny and so cool at the same time. I don't know how to explain
And
it.
isn't it
He's
always?
it's
Isn't
humor.
it also like the artwork is very unique too?
It's
Yes.
very
Yeah.
Silver
It's
Age.
very
doesn't really look like
It's very
anything
Silver
else.
Age,
Yeah,
which I
It's
love
cool.
because they got the
It's-
old
it's
villains
dope.
and all that.
it's dope.
Yeah.
It's a dope series. It's just good. Just like these movies. Even the nipples. I'm gonna be honest. Even the nipples had its own place.
The nipples
got
show up
rid
in
of-
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
There's an episode where the nipples show up that like he's talking with Batmite and like he turns him into like Dark Knight Returns Batman to Zebra Batman to Vampire Batman, and then he turns him into Batman Forever one, and like the nipples go whoosh like that and go back down. It's hilarious.
The
But
ass
she
shot,
said
too.
the second. Oh my gosh, yeah, there was an ass shot because that's the thing that is so the suit for Batman Forever. It did start off with the Schumacher nipples, but then the last suit that he wears, it doesn't have the nipples. I'm like, oh, good, they got rid of the nipples. Second later,
Robin.
no, ass shot.
Robin's suit had nipples too.
Robin.
Yeah, Robinson and
I have nipples, Greg.
I don't
Could you
know.
milk me?
The Batman suit though, I this kind of distracted me. The eye, like the location of the eyes were a little bit too close for me.
Really?
That was just kind of distracting to me. Yeah, because like the eyes were very like they were close.
Didn't notice that.
And it just looked weird on the. That's why like
Maybe it's just his face, and then the mask is
yeah.
into it.
Because
We're
I
not
feel
here
like
to
that
judge
was,
Val Kilmer.
I'm not judging Val
No,
Kilmer, but
it's just
outside
maybe
of the
because you know
mask.
what I kind of get what he means because like with the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises bat suits, the head looks weird, like because they were trying to go with this like motorcycle helmet, kind of like he has neck, like the
Yeah,
back
it's
looks
like straight.
It looks weird. Yeah,
It's weird. Yeah.
Every bat suit has like a weird thing.
Yeah, it
to
has
them.
its
I
own little
won't lie.
quirk.
Yeah, its own quirk.
But just because it's about okay.
I like the suit.
I like both suits. Both
Yeah.
suits were fucking badass.
I
like
think it
both
was
suits.
a step up a little bit from the Burton Batman suits, where kind of like they had that like weird fruit roll up thing, and Michael Keaton couldn't turn his head and stuff.
Yeah,
The
the
bat
rubber.
turn. That's called
The
the bat
rebel.
turn.
I love that shit.
The
so
rubber.
much. It's hype.
Have you guys ever seen the Beyond? I know we're just like getting off track a little bit, Alan, from what you're saying. I'm sorry, but like the behind the scenes footage for when they were casting the Batman Begins, because they
Yeah,
used the
he's
suit
wearing
Oh,
the
they
Val
used the
Kilmer
suit. They
suit.
used
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's footage of like Christian Bale wearing the suit
Bale
and like
Val
Josh
Kilmer
Hartnett,
suit.
who was thinking about it at the time. Stuff.
And also, what's his name? He plays Scarecrow.
Oh, Cillian Murphy,
Cillian
yeah,
Murphy.
because he
Cillian
auditioned for
Murphy.
Batman originally.
He was in it. He was in the suit too. That looked weird. Like that was like, I don't know. I actually was like, I want to see Cillian Murphy's Batman just to see how weird it'd be.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
There was a moment
Peaky
in
Blinders.
Batman Forever where if they wanted to, I think the Riddler could have been like how Scarecrow turned out in the Nolan movies. Just this like crazy like he had elements. They both shared like elements, but with going off track with the Christopher Nolan one, like Cillian Murphy just like had this just crazy element that it felt like that's what the Riddler was supposed to be. We kind of like just like a subtle brilliance, but still crazed.
I would have liked that a lot more. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you could see I like had like there was like a moment early on in Forever where I was like, it could have gone either way. Like I could have seen like it going in the direction that Cillian Murphy took the Scarecrow.
Yeah, even Guy Pearce basically does the same part but better in Iron Man 3.
But you know,
that's not a great.
That's the thing, though.
I was just watching it. It's underrated for me.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's the thing. Like if the Riddler would have changed, so would Two-Face. He would have had to change, or it would be weird. It would be weird.
Yeah,
Two-Face did change. He used to be Lando Calrissian, and then he became Billy D. Williams, and he became Tommy Lee Jones. He turned him from a black guy to a white guy.
But no, I'm saying like if the acting did change, it would have been weird. Two-Face would have been just way too like out there. You would have noticed it a lot more.
Yeah.
It I mean, I'm not saying that it's great acting as either or, but they worked with each other, and that's the only thing that it's like. I don't know. Yeah, it would have been weird if one of them was a little bit more of a straight man in the villain department. It would have been a little bit weird. It's like when the Penguin and Catwoman, they both worked well because of the way the acting style was as villains. Like you just accept that's what the villains are.
That was really impressing me watching this movie was that Jim Carrey was twirling that cane pretty well. Like
serious shit.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I would try to like replicate it, like his little and he'd do that.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
My brother was
doing it
obsessed with him
so
in this
swiftly. Like I was like, dang.
Yeah, my brother had that cane, and he was like fucking upset. Like he was the Riddler for Halloween. He would call himself Marshal Jim Carrey.
Badass.
Like he saw one of the greatest moments of his like childhood life before he was 10 years old. Probably was we were at Six Flags, and we saw like the Batman parade. And he had the staff, and he saw like the guy dressed up as the Riddler, and he waved at him, and he came over and like was like, "Hello there, little Riddler," and he like lost his mind. He fucking was the greatest thing he'd ever seen. It'd be like if Stephen Amell came over to you right now, Ariel.
Yeah.
And like kissed you.
No, not even that. Just said like I see your archer skills. That's what it would be like.
If Kevin Smith came up and kissed me, I'd lose my shit.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling came up to me and was like, "Here's a little one for you," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
But yeah. Oh no. So shit. What was I gonna say? The back to the Two-Face thing that you're talking about, Fred. Also, too, I think the reason why they made him that way was because I think one of the biggest things with the '60s show.
Yeah.
They wanted to do Two-Face, but they're like, this dude is fucking scary. Like half of his face is burned off.
Yeah.
So I think like because his makeup doesn't look gruesome at all.
No,
like
you can see it. Like,
I mean, and especially compared to like to the later Christopher one,
the Aaron
exactly. And even the Batman animated series,
he looked neon. He matched the
aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic. It wasn't like realistic, like burnt skin. It was more like cartoony pink, like colors, like bright, something like that. You know.
But yeah, I think it fit for it because like. I think like because even in Batman the Animated Series, like he was pretty gruesome looking and like he gave me nightmares too. But like with this one, it's like
almost.
Yeah. Well, even his clothes matched the way he was.
Yeah.
You know the funky colors, the zebra prints or tiger prints or whatever it was. There's it just it all worked. Yeah. Carol Baskins.
Joe's out of Two-Face here. I'm gonna kill the Batman.
But yeah,
I will kill the Batman.
It was like that. Like you get that feel. Like it all meshes. I think that's the thing I enjoyed the most about it. Honestly, is that it all meshed. All the weirdness, all the stuff.
Even the random callback to like the TV show with the holy metal Batman.
That was great.
He's like
I fucking love that.
It's holy. There's holes. It's fucking shit. That always kills me too. But I mean, there's all that stuff. I mean, the music too, I think is very underrated. I feel like the score of this film is amazing. Like as soon as like we were talking about it, I haven't even seen the movie. The score is back in my head. Like I love the intro credits of like the Warner Brothers turning into the bat and then the music coming in. and then the names are coming.
That was the most intense
suspense.
opening name credits I've ever seen in my fucking
Oh
life.
yeah,
And the music
I
definitely.
was like, oh, that's
helped
what
that.
kind of movie I'm in. Got it.
Yeah, the music definitely assisted with that in the.
Oh yeah, the music is probably one of my favorite things about.
Did
Batman
Danny
Forever
Elfman
and
do
Robin.
this one too?
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody
Okay.
I can't remember their name, but like
It was Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer did it himself. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Maybe if it was used better, I would have remembered it more. Because I'm trying to remember a lot of the music, but I can remember the opening. But then,
Yeah, the opening, like some of the music kind of has a campiness too. Like it goes from like super dark to intense to just like
Then they added
What-
like pop, like 90s pop music. And,
yeah, 90s
Yeah.
pop, and then like even the gala events have like their own music. Like when he comes down through the glass, and like there's that big thing where like Two-Face and Riddler show up, and he's like, "It's my party. What are you doing?" Like he's like, "We're gonna kill the Bat," and then but that whole music of that gala is so like sounds regal and campy at the same time. But it fits. It just fits when you see it.
although I do remember the part where like he emerges from the fire, and then that music was just like
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
That
That's
was,
what
like,
Batman.
intense.
It's just so like hellfire behind him and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no.
like Batman's. He's a demon.
yeah, that was like the
Mhm.
yeah.
I think it works, because of all the duality stuff that's so present in the movie. Like, because I think normally if I watched a movie like this, I'd be like, "What the fuck is the tone of this supposed to be?" Because like in one scene, it's like, "Oh, we're having like fun," and it's like weird like campiness, and then next scene, it's like, "My parents are dead, and you've got to go get revenge."
Oh
like,
yeah, when
normally,
they flash
that would
back
take
to
me out of
that.
it.
Yeah, but
Normally
I mean,
it would
like,
take, but wait.
Yeah.
Normally it would take me out of it, but I think because like the whole movie is all about like the like duality between like this colorfulness and this darkness, that it works somehow. That even though it is tonally inconsistent, it's not jarring. It kind of works for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but like going on to that, like they did have another "this is how my parents died" moment, but I didn't end up minding it so much because it did end up having a payoff of like, no, this is like a memory that's leading. There's more to this memory than just like the death and the
repressed
pearls
memory.
and all that.
Yeah, that's what Nicole Kidman's the psychologist.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't like. It was literally at least they didn't open up with the pearls and that, but then it showed up randomly. I'm like,
I think that was funny.
I
Right
started
when
I literally said, at least it doesn't have that scene, and then it happened.
They always have them. They
Yeah, I
always
think
have to.
But it did
Like,
end
not a
up
Batman movie
having
if
a
it doesn't happen.
payoff.
Yeah, at least it had a
Yeah.
purpose and not
It
just
had a
like
purpose, yeah.
okay, let's get this scene out of the Batman
It
movie
didn't.
checklist.
At least it didn't like
they
have a
incorporated
purpose.
it into
It
the
had a purpose more than just saying my
But-
mother's name was Martha.
yeah. They
Talking about that
It's the
purpose and that
plot.
stuff, I've got to say the one thing. The only I know, obviously, if people are going to be like, "What?" That's the one thing. The one thing I couldn't believe was, okay, I can believe a batarang. The Batman grappling hook, right? I can believe it can swing a person. Okay, the way it is, I can believe it can.
Oh,
swing
I think
a
I know where
person.
you're going. I think I know where you're
I
going.
think so too.
How the fuck does that swing that goddamn safe?
The ass.
Because it goes
fucking knew it,
into
dude.
a
I knew
fucking.
it.
Okay, that's the only thing I can't get. Look, if he would have got like, I don't know, the Batmobile to shoot a giant ass one through a building, I would have been
Oh, like the one is shot on the fucking wall so it can
And then
ride
you
the wall.
friggin-
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that part.
something like that. I could be like, yeah, sure, fuck it. It's a really big one. He shoots one out of his pocket. He's like, hold on, and it looks like the smallest little, like it barely comes out of his thing.
Like a yakety yak. If
Yeah,
you
and
want to touch to the 90s.
He shoots it. He's like, watch out, bam, shoots it in the wall. You see it go through this wall, and it makes it. The nails I put to hold picture frames are bigger than what that hole was. And then he goes, hold on, ties it around. You know what? I'll believe the little torch that he had to cut the metal. I can believe that. Fuck it. Not that grappling hook, because and then it puts the safe back in its spot. That I can
That
believe.
was-
You know,
That
and
was
that's
hilarious.
believable. And that's
That was
believable.
hilarious
What's not
as shit.
believable is a little tiny string though that was holding it up through the smallest minute hole that into God knows what building it went into, and it swings it back. I was like, no, man, that's too much. I accept everything
But
but
I
that.
think it sets the tone. I think it
Yeah,
sets the tone.
unbelievable.
I think you go, are you
Unbelievable.
fucking- okay.
There was,
Well,
a,
I guess
there was
this
one
is it.
part that took me out of it too, which was like I was like I'm just down for the tone, except for one part was I was just like this is just like way too fucking weird and bananas. It's when they're like let's just show on TV this like random flashback to like how Harvey became Two-Face, and it's just like a 3-second clip, and it's like when some random mob boss brought acid into the courtroom and just decided to throw it on the
yeah. And that was the second one.
And then fucking Batman is just like in the fucking courtroom as Batman, and he just like jumps up. I was like, what in the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah. I remember when I saw it in theaters as a kid, like that kind of blew my mind, because usually you're kind of like, oh, you know, maybe like some cops came and they took him down. They're like, no, fucking Batman was hanging out in the court. And then like he even jumps off the table to save him, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's Gotham. It's Gotham City. It makes sense.
Batman had nothing to do that day. It was a light day.
He was bored as fuck. He's like, I'm gonna go to the court hearing in my fucking suit.
Yeah, Batman
just like calling on him for a deposition.
Batman just walks around the city as Batman. Like, hey, Batman,
like how Spider-Man.
Hey, what's up? I was like, I'm all right.
Like, did Gordon put the bat signal on? It's just like, actually, we're gonna need you to testify in this case. Like,
oh, I got you guys. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like, just jumping on that train. Also, like, how the fuck is that possible? It's not really impossible because it's Batman, but I feel like there's a lot of planning to do to have his fucking office chair turn into a fucking bat port all the way to the Bat Cave across Gotham City.
Yeah, how the fuck did you do that?
And I was like, damn, that was really badass. How did that fucking happen? Like, how do you do that? Like,
that's like level. That's like Elon Musk level.
Elon Musk, like the Boring Company.
Yeah, like he's like he had the Boring Company before the Boring Company was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get contractors to come in and be like, where is this going to? And he's like,
here's the contractors.
Don't worry about it. Wait, so you want me to dig under Gotham, like the whole thing? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
No.
All right, I guess.
Yeah. And he's like, and you need to do it fast.
Yeah. And you need to do it nobody can know. So just nobody knows where it goes. Nobody knows where it starts. Just start digging. All right. I mean, he is the boss.
But yeah, that always kind of, I always thought that was the coolest thing, but at the same time I was like, what the fuck? And then he just pops out of what is it? The pod, yeah, but it has like the spikes in it. What is it called? The
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, yeah. That I was like, how do you not like run into one of the Iron Maiden spikes by accident? Huh?
Maybe the spikes retract when he goes in.
No, that's true. And then he just has them pop out for a step to be like, Alfred, check it out. I survived again.
No. What I'm saying is more like if you're not Batman when you come in, like think of it like a safety device. Maybe they stab you. He's like, oh shit. He opens it up. Someone's dead. He's like, You try to get in do the security system.
He's like, technically, I didn't kill him, so it's okay.
Should have used life alert, you know?
Alfred,
yeah,
chill in this too.
Oh, Alfred, yeah, Michael Gough, he's great. I thought he was like a really good Alfred for all these movies. Like, I think him and what's his name?
Gordon.
Michael Caine.
Not Michael Caine. The other one. He's in.
Okay. Isn't it then? Not that I want to get off subject, but you're talking about Alfred already. Isn't it in Batman and was it Batman and Robin where Alfred gets sick and he's gonna die?
Yeah.
The Gregor syndrome.
Yeah. Dude, that was like the fucking saddest. That real talk, like that was the saddest thing I've ever heard in a Batman movie. I was
upset. I was like,
I was so upset when he was gonna die, and then he sends a video to his niece and stuff. I was like, yo, dude, this isn't right. I go, what are you doing to me? legit, I was really upset.
It might have sparked like the now recent resurgence of killing Alfreds.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff.
History. Like I can name like at least 3 different comic series that killed off Alfred, and it's
I don't like that. Why would you do that to Alfred? Like, I don't know, man.
I think the only time he deserved to die was when he was like his non-common version, like way back when Alfred was actually just kind of like this bumbling idiot. Like he kind of just fucked shit up all the time. I think it was like Gold and Silver Age, and then finally they killed him off. And then they brought him back, and he's like the Alfred everybody knows and loves now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only time he deserves to die. Come back.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
But yeah, pretty much the last thing I guess I'll say about it is if Batman '89 is the best Batman movie, Batman and Robin's the worst. Batman Returns is the darkest. I think Batman Forever is the most underrated out of those four.
Nice way to put it. Before we end, I just wanted to say that this was Alan's pick, and also in recent history, just a couple days ago, it was Alan's birthday, Alan's 30th birthday. So happy birthday to our Batman aficionado.
Yeah,
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday, man. Welcome to the other side.
Let's do it.
Ariel, you're next. You'll be in your 30s soon.
Yeah, and 2 more years. 20.
To be young again.
But all right, end it off, Alan.
Cool. Well, no, thank you guys for listening. We're actually one last announcement. Ariel brought up a new program or new show. We've been kind of she's been kind of playing with the idea. She's been coming up with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about calling it You Haven't Seen with a question mark and an exclamation point. It is basically a podcast where we discuss movies that at least one of us have never seen, but they are considered pop culture or cinema iconic films. So the first one that's going to be coming out is American Psycho, which is one of Alan's favorites, and I've always wanted to watch it. And so me and Derek had never seen it, so we watched it all together, and then we had a brief discussion about it. And so hopefully we're growing a list of iconic movies that we've never seen that we will be discussing. So yeah.
I think Ariel, you brought up 2, right? That you hadn't seen yet.
I haven't seen. I think in recent history I said Pulp Fiction, which he's seen, so he's going to probably be on that podcast. Pulp Fiction and Ex Machina. I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Love both of those movies. Love the Ex Machina. Yeah, is fucking amazing.
I agree.
I'm not gonna. I might throw this one into the hat. I think Fred's probably seen it, but the one that I've been really thinking about a lot lately, I was thinking of doing it for this one, but it's very highly revered. Mm-hmm. So I think it's actually probably better in that category. Would be Akira, which I've been wanting to rewatch.
Akira, but I know that it's an iconic anime movie. So
yeah, I've seen it.
One.
I actually haven't seen it either, so that'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, very well revered, along with along the lines of the anime Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, the original Ghost in the Shell is a really good one.
Revolutionary films. Mm-hmm. So we'll put that on the list.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that new podcast we've got in the works, guys. Listeners.
Thank you so much. And yeah, hope to see you guys again. Listen to you guys. Not listen to you guys. Hear from you guys. Just drop down on our socials and everything. Leave us 5 stars. We want to hear from you guys. If you guys got any good ideas either for the other one and for this one, drop them down. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we did get a good review.
Yeah.
Can I read off we got a 5-star review, and I just want to shout this out. Thank you to Andy Piccolo 777 for leaving us this review. There we go. It's titled "Great Podcast Explores Deserving Films." I listened to their episode on Zodiac, which is my favorite David Fincher film. There is a friendliness and warmth to the way the hosts discuss films, and I really appreciate the way they can discuss different viewpoints without being hostile to one. I found their discussion on Zodiac fun and illuminating, but I must say I love the cinematography of Steven Soderbergh's Traffic. And then he put a winky face. So thank you so much, Andy. It really honestly meant the world to me when I saw this review. And I also love Steven Soderbergh, by the way, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, guys.
If you guys want to watch us, if you want to listen to us, go to any of the podcast sites to download this and listen to us. But if you want to watch us actually in person, you guys can go on our YouTube channel and actually see these videos, the video podcast version of it.
Yeah,
so you can actually see us as we talk and have these conversations.
Yeah, we've figured out the technology, and we now have our faces up there.
That's right. Subscribe there. Give us likes, follows. Ring the little bell so that way you get notified when we put up a new podcast up there. And you guys, we'd really appreciate, likes, follows, comments there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys. Well, I'm Alan.
I'm Derek.
I'm Fred.
I'm Ariel.
Sergio.
And that's it.
And that's
Thanks
it.
for being
See you guys
amazing.
next time.
All right, later, everybody.
Later.
Jim Carrey's though. Psst, Jim Carrey's though. Jim Carrey. Come on, riddle me this, riddle me that, mans. How's Ace Ventura gonna mess with Batman?